So we are Live live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We are late, trying to get some new stuff going here, but we're in. So welcome aboard. I'll let Adria take it over from here.
Hello, guys. Welcome. As Mr. Ty said, you have joined us on our weekly Flippinar that is available streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And yes, we are a little late. We typically start at 6 o'clock Central Time, and it's a little after. Sorry, but we'll make up for it. Most definitely we'll make up for it. As always, this is your platform to ask any questions pertaining to flipping, wholesaling, residential, commercial, whatever it is, homes. And you ask the questions. I read the questions. Ty answers the questions. Always try to tell me where you're located, so your answer can be better, better suited to your location. I'm Adria. That's Ty. Let's get started. What is this? I think number 34? 35. Did you say that?
5.
Wow. 35. Oh, and don't forget to tag a friend, guys. Tag a friend. Tell them to join us. They can learn some information here as well. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. It is 3 days after the fact, and I'm still working the Santa hat because I look good in it. And also because I'm still in the Christmas spirit. I didn't get anything. Yes, nobody sent me anything. Nobody bought me anything. So I'm still waiting. I'm good. So shout outs from Houston, Augusta, Georgia, Northern VA, Southern Maryland, Ohio. I'll be in Ohio tomorrow. Atlanta, Pennsylvania, Birmingham, New York, Palm Beach, Florida. What's the weather like there on the beach? And let's see here. We got some people on Instagram. Let's see here. Not telling me where they're from, but I see you're on there. And Facebook, I see you guys filing in as well. So go ahead and start posting your questions. You watched all the videos, Get a Bar 2000. Wow. You'll be the first because most people ask questions. You can tell they haven't ever watched a single solitary video, so you will be directed to those, but this is available afterwards as well. So that's good to hear. You should be able to answer all of these questions then. Hey, Mike, Britt Brett, Off-Roader, Keenan, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, Charleston, Cleveland, Connecticut. You freezing. It's cold enough for me here. Youngstown, Adria, you didn't get it, but did you get Malachi? Don't start this week. It was you last week. You still waiting on a gift from me. Okay. You had a birthday coming up, or is it? Don't say it's today. Last week, your birthday was in 8 days. So it's tomorrow. It should be tomorrow. Happy birthday. Yay. Okay. What's up? You ready?
Not yet.
He's not ready. Betty Smith is in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Hey, I said that, Malachi. Your birthday is tomorrow. Happy early birthday. I'll be sure to tell you happy birthday over and over again throughout this whole show. And it still does not negate the fact that you didn't give me anything for Christmas. Yay. Okay. I'm just putting it out there. Hey, Mike. Mike says, send out some t-shirts for Christmas gifts. No. I have shirts. Pensacola on Instagram, Charlotte on Instagram. I love Charlotte Holmes. Oh, sweet. Good question, Britt Brat. We'll open up with that one whenever Ty is ready. In Kansas City.
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, first question. Britt Brat says, what are your predictions for the real estate market for 2018?
Same thing was for 17, 16, 15, and 1,000 years before. As long as the real estate is not free, there's going to be opportunities to make money. People still get divorced. People still die. They lose their jobs, medical bills, relocation, tired landlords. You get the point. As long as life exists, they're going to create motivated sellers, which is going to create opportunities for individuals like you and myself to do deals, as long as we do our job and letting people know we exist. And that normally comes from either reaching out through cold calling, advertising, through marketing, direct mail, banner signs, online, offline, obviously, Facebook, social media, and so on. You get the point. So just get out there and get it, man.
So you gotta get it. It's gonna be plenty of check cashing this year. I foresee it, and I speak it onto all of you. We're gonna get some checks with our names written on it. Yes, woo, claimed it. Get your money. All right, let's see here. Do you research vacant commercial like a vacant property?
Say that again.
Do you research a vacant commercial like a vacant residential property?
Well, the first thing you always have to do is to figure out who owns the property. Well, if you didn't have the app Land Glide, which I highly recommend, but once you determine the address, depending in most states, the tax bill goes somewhere. So you start there, see who owns the property based on the tax records. And if it's not for sale, there's no for sale sign on it or anything like that, then first thing you would want to do is try to find a phone number for that individual or entity. If you can't do that, then you will reach out to them by direct mail.
Okay, so Stephen from Houston and someone on Facebook said they were getting a feedback. They hear it twice. Not me. I think
I don't know what they're doing. That may be on their end. They're the only ones saying it, so it must be on their end.
Okay. I think I just lost my Facebook too. Oh well. Okay, let's see here. How can you tell if your market is oversaturated?
Wow, I don't look at it like that. What city is he talking about? Are you talking about
Well, I'm gonna say Charlotte because Charlotte.
It's not possible. City of that size is not possible. Not possible. Just get out there and do deals.
All right, let's see here. Sticking with questions from Instagram. Longs buys homes. He got his first deal underway. Should be closing in a few days. Thanks for all the help and all the knowledge. That's what's up. Way to go. Hope that works out for you. Let's see here. YouTube. Scrolling down. What do you do when a deal goes bad?
Well, it depends on what you mean by going bad. Meaning, well, you have to go into detail on what you mean by going bad. I forgot to put the link on Flippinar.com for the new one, so it's up now. But you're gonna have to be a little bit more descriptive, because if it goes bad in the sense that I can't even answer that, because you got to be a little bit more detailed on what you mean. If it's going bad and there's no chance of doing a deal, is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Maybe.
He's gonna have to be a little bit more descriptive on what he means.
All right, let's see here. Corey, I do like you. I don't know where that came from. I might have skipped you somewhere. I'm sorry. Let's see here. I'm sorry, I scrolled down for that. What do you say to a seller who wants an advance on their upcoming money at closing? No. No.
I one of the bigger deals I've ever done was did that way, early on. But in most cases, everything is negotiable. So it just depends on the situation. If I were going to do something like that, and I have done this, like it may have taken longer than what we anticipated to do the deal, and I may have paid a payment as far as their mortgage or something. I've done that before or whatever. So maybe even give them some moving expenses or whatever. But I'm only going to do that. I got to just be really, really confident about the deal closing. And also, I have to be really, really confident that I got a buyer, obviously, and probably going to have to make a significant amount of money for me to do something like that. So everything's negotiable. So you have to just be careful about it if you're going to do something like that.
Okay. On Instagram, the question is, how many properties do you evaluate before you know you have a deal?
How many properties do you evaluate before you think you have a deal? Let me know when you do one from Facebook, okay?
Okay.
All right. But I don't understand that question.
Well, I guess round about how many on average, how many phone calls, how many,
Oh, that's what he's asking.
you know.
Well, generally speaking, the way the numbers that work for me, probably every 25 to 30 calls of actually talking to sellers translates into a deal.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. If you're on YouTube and you're reading Malachi's comments, you'll know why I'm just randomly laughing. Okay, let's see here. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's from the Jersey Shore. Thanks for most of all to Ty and Adria for all they do. Great. Corey wants to know on the commercial side, how do we connect with the storage companies to get in the big block buildings?
You mean to get in the building? To get in the building is one thing versus um, those are two types of separate things. Do you? I'm assuming he means for a big box store like an old Kmart or something. That's one thing is getting the deal. The other part of it is actually having a self storage outfit to be interested in that property. You know, that's a separate thing. So he has to be. You have to be a little bit more detailed on what your question is.
Sorry, that was me, guys. I was trying to tag into something on the phone. Okay, go ahead. What you say?
I answered it.
You answered Cora's questions. Okay. Actually, on Facebook, because I just logged into it on my phone, I don't have a question. I have Orlando Kelvin, I have Miguel, and I have Jake and Steven, but I don't have a question yet.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Not yet, unless I missed something. Okay, let's see here. How do you wholesale homes if they don't have any equity?
You don't. There's no money to be made. The only reason a cash investor is going to be interested is that there's a lot of equity in the property. You don't. Not in the sense of a traditional wholesale deal. You don't.
Okay. We have a question from Creative Clothing on YouTube. Why won't anyone take the $10 fee or sign the contract? This is the problem. Heaven, I have 100 signs. No one will sign the contract, even if I give them their $10 fee. Well,
what are you telling them when you're negotiating your deal? You know, that's what we need to understand. What are you actually telling them? Who you are and what you do.
okay, Creative. If you heard that answer that question so I can come back to it and revisit that. Dominique wants to know, Ty, outside of bandit signs, what is your personal favorite source for finding leads? You can ask this.
It's going to be probably tied for second right now. That may change in the future. Some form of cold calling. I have some techniques that I'm using. I can't say they surpass direct mail at this point, but it's effective if you have the right people doing it, which wouldn't be me personally. Then direct mail, like mailtoflip.com, a very unique way of getting sellers' attention. You mail in a picture of the property. Whenever they see the postcard and or letter, a picture of their property's there. So it automatically gets their attention. Whenever you're doing direct mail, I don't care for what type of business or service, the most difficult thing is to get your piece of mail read. And so if you're sending them something with something that they own, a picture of it, the likelihood of your message getting read goes up tremendously. You just let the numbers take over from there. So
Okay. Bill Mapes, this is on Facebook. I think it was a while ago. Have you ever had to deal with water surveys?
Not personally. No. And that can be a part of the environmental inspection, or what they call a phase one. When you're dealing with commercial, it can be part of the engineering work or whatever. But as far as the residential, no.
Okay, let's see here. On Instagram, the real Jay Forte brought my first deal to the title company today. Soon as the clean title comes back, I'll have my first deal. Thank you, Ty. Way to go. Sounds like somebody's getting a check.
So he has a buyer, a buyer.
The real Forte, do you have a buyer? Well, I hope so.
Well, yeah, I hope so. Also.
Yeah. Okay. And she says, thanks. That answered my question. I think somebody else answered another question. On your bandit signs, do you have your personal number or do you use an automated service?
I don't use an automated service to answer the question. I use I have so many numbers that make your head spin probably, but I got a couple of sideline numbers. I got quite a few Google Voice numbers. Those all tend to work just fine for me. So if I'm understanding what a question is.
Okay. Back to that question that Corey had in regards to commercial. After you get the old Kmart building under contract in commercial, how do we get the self-storage interested in signing an LOI to lease it?
You reach out to them. They're going to want to know the demographics of the property, which you should already have that whenever before you even place it under contract. But you're going to have to reach out to them and see if it fits what they're looking for.
Okay. Creative clothing. I see your comment there. I'm not particularly sure what's that in regards to. I did read your question, but it needed a little bit more information to get you a good answer. But as always, we're here every Thursday. And you can always message Ty at flipman.net, if you have a question that, maybe you need to go into more details with. But glad you stopped by. James Bowers wants to know, do you walk away from deals if you are not finding any comps that meet the subject property in your area in the last 12 months?
Well, yeah, I don't have enough data in most cases. If I don't have enough data, which is recent sales history, it makes it difficult to negotiate a deal. Sometimes, it still may be a deal depending on where it is. The easy thing you can do, the simple thing you can do is go by the assessed value at that point of the what the county or state or city already do it in your market, what they assess the property for, and work your numbers that way. Because it may be a property that's on a lake or something, and they're really not going to have a lot of comps. So, but it may be a very attractive property. So, so it just depends. Makes it more difficult for sure.
Let's see here. Someone just on Instagram wants to know, are you investing in cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin?
Bitcoin. No. Which I've been aware of Bitcoin for quite a few years, just because internet market and stuff around it interests me. And you know what I was listening to? I listened to a lot of sports talk radio, and for whatever reason they were talking about it. And one of the hosts of the show, he really broke it down. He said he's been looking into it for years. Sounds like he owns some, but he really broke it down. I never thought about it in some of the ways that they explained. But to answer your question, no, I'm not.
Okay. Creative clothing. Yeah, I needed you to follow up on what exactly you were saying when you were offering the $10 fee, as to why the sellers weren't accepting the $10 fee or weren't signing your contract. That was the follow-up. So I'm still interested in making sure you get your question answered. Just, you got to tag in. So that means I scrolled all the way to the bottom, guys. So now I got to scroll all the way back up. So I do skip around. I do. I don't intentionally miss your question. I try to come back and, pick up where I left off. But hey, hopefully the questions that I do ask, although it may not be yours, gives you a little insight and helps you out a little bit. So forgive me. Let's see here.
Oh, they are saying on Facebook that it's horrible. Is there a way to find it more? There's a question on Facebook. It may be because of this new mic that I have. Maybe I know what I probably need to do.
What? You gonna try something different there?
Yeah, I'm asking them, is that better on Facebook or whatever? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm actually having to use my phone for Facebook because that whatever that is making it lag. I might be seeing.
That's a question on Facebook. No, you don't see them.
No, I see them now because I'm on my phone.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just pick one.
Okay. So Stephen Mendiola, is there a way to find the mortgage owed on a property if the seller is not sure before a title is opened? And that was from Facebook as well.
Stephen, what was his name?
Mendiola Senior.
Mendiola. Okay. So boom. So there's his question. All right. Is there a way to find a mortgage owed on a property if the seller is not sure for the closing? Well, what is going to happen is that the seller is going to have a contact number for wherever they're making a mortgage payment to, which is normally the mortgage lender, and they will provide a payoff. That's just normal. That's normal. So that's very simple. If that's your holdup, you don't have one. If I understand your question correctly. Do another one off Facebook.
Simone Hamilton, she's 2 questions down. She says, hey, Ty and Adria, just wanted to know, once a contract is signed with the to be determined for the closing date, once buyer is found, how do I actually determine the closing date after that?
Okay. It's signed with the to for the closing date. Once the buyer is found, how do I actually determine the closing date after that? Well, normally what you're going to do is that I'm not going to give them but maybe 10 days, if I understand her correct. I'm talking about the buyer to close on it. Is that what she's asking?
Yeah, that's the way I read it.
Yeah, so I'm only going to give them 10 days to close on it in most cases. Now, it still matters. You may only have 7 days left on your contract, so probably only give them 6 days to close. If maybe we can get some more time. Normally, sellers will do 2 or 3 days, maybe a week or even longer. But you always going to give your buyer less than the time than what you have to close on it. There's just simple math on that. So, but cash buyers, the conversation should always be as soon as you can get a clear title. It's that simple. As soon as you can get a clear title.
Okay, so let me lean up a little bit. Okay, so I'm still getting that the sound on Facebook has a horrible echo. All mine's are muted off. Guys, we're trying a new little setup on Facebook. I guess if you can see it, you see that the questions are popping up as you're asking them. And
in a bad echo. Let me see. I know what the problem is.
But it ain't over here.
Let me see if I can change that.
And I see some of you guys are actually on both Facebook and YouTube because I see the same questions. I see you, Eric, and I saw Simone as well. So I guess, if you're on YouTube, just use that. We're trying to work out the kinks. Apologize, for you being guinea pigs. But it'll be awesome. And let's see here. Someone on YouTube says they can see you taking live calls. Ooh, what about that?
This is about as good as it's gonna get.
It.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say no to it or whatever. If someone can verify that it's gotten better or worse on Facebook.
Okay, Jake, D'Amica, Simone, Steven, someone on Facebook while I'm looking at it right now. Is it better? Did it get any better? The sound, the echo. Cricket.
They might can't hear. I thought I muted the Facebook button here. So let me go back. So guys, has it gotten any better on Facebook or not?
No one said anything. Simone's watching through YouTube. Okay, I just see her on both of them.
Okay, all right.
Okay, nobody answered, so I'm gonna keep it moving. Maybe they'll come down. Let's see here. Oh goodness, Lord. Which resources software is the best to use to automate direct mail and the calling system?
Well, I personally don't use any of that right now. No, actually I don't. But that's what I'm going to actually be doing something similar with Dealulator whenever it's actually completed to manage some of those activities and more. So
you just couldn't wait to push that little button that said Dealulator coming soon that came across the screen, huh? That's why you can put little stuff up on the screen. Oh, I see what you did.
They need this for YouTube, man. I can't believe it's not an option like that to do those. They call them lower thirds.
Yeah, they say the sound is still bad. We're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah, it sounds like it's underwater. Sorry, guys. Whenever I do the replay, I can try to probably figure out what's going on here. It's probably I got two mics here. They're probably going off of each other. Maybe I need to. I don't know. I should have. Go ahead, Ada. I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. Desiree wants to know: is it possible to flip a foreclosure property or pre-foreclosure property?
Well, yeah, you could do both. You know, you're gonna have some things in place. One, you're gonna have the right type of buyer for them. You're gonna be dealing with lenders in both cases. With the foreclosure and the actual REO, you're gonna definitely be dealing with a real estate agent also. So, but to answer your question, yes, it's just a different process.
All right, David says, "Hey, folks,
still bad on Facebook. You all on Facebook and verified. It's still bad on Facebook. Go ahead. I'm gonna place a comment over here. Go ahead.
Okay. David Thompson says, "Hey, folks, don't sleep on Snapchat. He got 5 leads over the last week. I use Snapchat to show different areas I wholesale, and I get referrals from there." I don't know. I guess I never thought about that. Hey, I guess any type of social media, if you can figure out how to utilize it to your benefit, then it'll work.
Most definitely. Social media is powerful. I'm working at it every day. Diligently. That's the right word.
Back to the mail to flip. Tony wants to know, when you send the direct mail with the picture of the property you want to buy, what wording do you use? What did you say?
They have already templates. If you go to mailtoflip.com and submit your name and phone number, email, or whatever, you'll see actual samples. Well, you'll see samples on Mail to Flip. So they already have preset templates with the headliners. You'll include your information as far as contact information, but it's already preset. So,
okay. I have 2 users in Ohio. that wants to know, can you find leads in every state the same way? That was the question for Ohio. And the next one was, how do I get started in Ohio wholesaling homes? Like, what exactly is the first steps I should take? Is it best to try to collect leads online or driving around?
Well, you can find leads in every state using the same methods for the most part. But the main thing is you got to create some activity. Now, of course, the smaller the town, the less opportunities. The larger the town, the more the opportunities. What was the second part of that question?
I'm just finding the leads and what would be the first steps, driving around or, you know.
Well, that's a way you can find leads if you're on a limited budget. You can research online. Just I like to. Some people just target properties that are for sale, and you can find deals that way. It's a very difficult way of doing it, in my opinion. But I would do something a little bit more outside the box in targeting, landlords. Tired landlords is what you're really looking for. So, but yeah, all of those methods work and more. It's all about generating leads. At the end of the day, it's what it's all about. Generating leads.
All right, Shantae Swan, this is a Facebook question. She says, hey there, guys. Wanted to give you both a shout out. I appreciate y'all. This helps me move forward. My question is, I watch his videos a lot, and he mentioned he only uses one contract to do the deal with both buyer and seller. How exactly do you do this? Please give detail.
Well, the contract with the seller, you can definitely control that. Now, sometimes you can't control that with a buyer, but assuming the buyer is okay with the contract. So you're creating one contract with the seller. We'll just use some easy numbers here for $50,000. You're creating a second contract with your buyer for $58,000. So whenever you close on it, you get the difference. Now, I use a closing detail sheet that I do give away. You can go to freeclosingdoc.com to get a copy of it, but that's how it's done. So you're the buyer on the contract with the seller, and on the contract with the buyer, you are the seller. But I have videos that show you in detail on both on YouTube.
Okay, LB on YouTube just signed his first deal with his buyer. He has earnest money in hand. Way to go, LB. Get her done.
That's what's happening.
Get it done. You one step away from getting you a check. Let us know how that works out for you. Let's see here. Anthony Henry says if a seller owes 100K and asking for 440K for a single family residential, what exit strategy would you recommend?
Say it again. I'm sorry. Say it again.
A seller owes 100,000 and is asking for 440,000 on a single family residential. What exit strategy would you recommend?
What's the ARV?
Don't have that info. That would help. Anthony, fill in the blanks. What's the ARV? Well, there you go. You just posted something. What's the ARV on that property? Need a little bit, few more numbers there. Scrolling back up. Let's see here. Going with questions. Ashley Young. She's sending out her first batch of direct mailers. Do you have any suggestions on a target area?
Well, there are a couple of ways you can go on that. I'm going to give a little tip here. Is you can target the quote unquote D as in dog, C as in cat areas. One of them would be, I guess both of them would be considered blue collar, lower middle class. And a lot of those properties are in Section 8 areas, which all areas could be Section 8 technically, but are in Section 8 areas. So you're going to have Section 8 landlords. So you would have to get your hands on a Section 8 list of properties available, which normally has the contact numbers for landlords. So target those areas. So you know your market, you know what the C and D areas are in your market. So you start there.
All right. I don't know if some of you guys will, if you're on YouTube, Malachi Irvin is just giving you a challenge for 2018. The challenge is to close a deal within the first 5 days of the year. I see a lot of you saying you accept. That means you already have something in the works.
You got it. You have
something in the works.
Monday is a wash. So you really don't have 4 days to close because Monday is a wash. You have tomorrow, I guess, but Monday is a wash.
Yeah, it is going to be tough, but all of you who said you accept, I will come back next week and ask every single last one of you where your check's at, including myself. Okay, so challenge accepted.
Challenge.
That's right. Let's see here. How do you negotiate a city-owned property, or do you have to wait for auction?
That's a good question. Depends on the city, what their process is. All of that stuff matters, man. I have no idea. You know, you have to give us the details of what it takes to buy a property from that municipality. You know, that's going to vary from city to city, even within the same state.
Okay.
What was that question from?
That was on YouTube.
Okay.
But you have a deal or no deal question on Facebook from Miss Starlet. You see that there?
Yeah, I see it. Oh.
All right. Deal or no deal?
When I can put a question up there, you see it?
I see the question. It's just marvelous. That's so wonderful. Hey, technology is just so cool.
They don't have this for YouTube, man. God, let's get it.
Yeah, we gotta figure. Well, we gotta figure out a platform that does them all. You know, one.
It was probably a year or so. Somebody's gonna figure out that's a serious need that you can do it.
Versus having to have, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Starling Moore says the seller has 2 properties. Oh, that's cool because I can read straight ahead versus having to look at my phone. Although yours looks different. Anyway, I digress. One is a 2-family tenant. 2-family with tenants paying $900 a month for each floor. Section 8 approved. The ARV is $164K. The second property also has tenants generating $1,000 a month. ARV is $108. The seller wants $124K for both properties total. Is it a deal?
So 108 and 164. So that's what, 272.
Yep.
Right. And he wants
124.
So basically
150 out there, 148 out there.
Yeah, from just on the surface, there appear to be deals on the surface.
What would make that not a deal? The tenant. You already have tenants in there, so
they can't be in that bad of condition. So if your numbers are correct, okay, what he did, he said Section 8. So he has 2 properties, and he wants to sell them. So basically, both of them are 64 each. So one of them is 100. Yeah, those are deals, man. That's nothing to think about right there. Nothing. Make that happen.
Starleg, you might be getting a check within 5 days. Make it happen. See if you can take and accept Malachi's challenge. It sounds as if you have a deal. Oh my gosh. Harold has is it a deal question?
You don't know that. You don't know where that comes from, do you?
Challenge.
You know when they say that on the Kung Fu theater?
No.
I'm going to revenge my father.
Oh gosh, no. Showing your age again.
People out there that
they don't know.
They know what I mean. They know challenge.
Harold has is it a deal question. Is it a deal to purchase a property for $172,500?
Where's this up?
YouTube.
Okay.
Right? 172.5. It needs about 25 grand in rehabs with comps going for an average of 239. And
What
it's
was the
kind of
price?
tight.
What was the price?
172.5.
And 239. So what is that? 60. What is that?
Don't
60.
forget about the 25 grand for the rehab.
Oh, started. It's no deal.
Yeah, because that puts you right at two. That leaves
Yeah.
about 39.
Yeah. And you hadn't made any money yet. That's no deal.
Okay. So not much wiggle room there, Harold. You got to get that price down, way down.
Yeah, it probably need to be down probably 130, 140 in that range. Not far off though. 169, not far off. You get it down to 140, you probably got some.
All right. So there you go. Yeah, Patrick, we know. Sorry. We're working on it.
What?
Sorry. For those of you who are just joining us, we are live YouTube, Facebook.
The killer echo. We're sorry.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
I know what the problem is, but I can't go back and correct it once we've started it. I know what the problem is.
Okay. Let's see here on YouTube. Question is, I drove for dollars and found 5 potential properties. Should I do the ARV for each one or focus on one?
He said he found the ARV for. Repeat that.
No, he found 5 potential.
Where was this from?
YouTube.
Okay. And what was the question?
I'll let you know when it's from Facebook.
All right.
Okay, so he found 5 properties after driving for dollars, and he's wanting to know, or she, I'm sorry, Toussaint, whether to just do research on one or do all of them at the same time.
Unless they're all next door to each other, you got to do them all separately. Again, unless they're all next door to each other.
No, I mean like focus on trying to get one. No, you need to be working on all of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. When's the next live chat? Is it once a week? I have my birthday real estate class next Friday. Jessica, we're here every Thursday. Every Thursday, unless something happens, we're here, available. And then the video is available after we're done. You can come back and watch it again. Of course, it won't be live, but it will be available for you to watch. And you can still post questions, and Ty will answer those questions as they come in. So I hope that helps, Jessica. Let's see here. Still scrolling on YouTube. I did skip around a bit. Let's see here. I answered that. Shaq trying to get you some extra appreciation money. They send Ty a gift certificate. Let's see here. James says to look up IML and hit him up. There's money in it. My friend made good money on his smoke break. Seriously, I think that was in regards to like the Bitcoin currency, that type of thing. Clifton, here we go. Does having a property with 3 acres of land increase the ARV of the property, especially if it is considered a historic property?
And where was this from?
YouTube.
Y'all can tell when I get a new toy, boy, I'm tripping. But wait till you all see this new intro that I've done. I don't say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 3 acres, it's supposed to make it more valuable in most cases. If that was in, it'll depend. There's some factors that go into that. Like, for instance, if it's out in a rural area, 3 acres may be common. So the acreage is not going to be as valuable as, say, if you were sitting on 3 acres within an inner city somewhere, within a metropolitan area. So whereas a lot may cost 100 grand, you know, just a normal 100 by 100 lot, whatever the number is, 150 by 150, something like that. And where, I don't know if my number's right there, but you know what I mean. And then an acre of land may cost you $4,000, you know, somewhere else. So it just depends. Just like with anything in real estate, location, location, location. That 3 acres could be very, very valuable in some areas, and in some situations, even I get it done a lot of times. When I do houses in the, yeah, I guess say the D areas, D as in dog, and they say, well, a lot comes with it. A lot next door comes with it. I tell them, if you want to, you can keep the lot, but if you're basing your price off that lot, I'm not going to pay for that lot. So we can do a survey. You can keep the lot because it's not adding any value to the property. So it just depends.
All right. Rita wants to know what happened to Deal Later.
What do you mean? What happened to it? It's coming. It's still available through an affiliate with Rehab Valuator, but creating my own deal. It's coming. It's coming. I'm getting to it.
All right. What is your take on I Buy Houses vehicle wraps?
If you wrap the entire vehicle like I think you mean, that's a very expensive undertaking. That vehicle needs to be visible 20 hours out of the day in order for you to get the return on. Now, one deal may pay for the wrap. Don't get me wrong. It's just that you can be a little bit more efficient with your money. I know it looks cute. Did something similar myself early on or whatever. But it's a form of marketing, so I'm never going to talk bad about it. I wouldn't do it out the jump. I would do something like that after I made some real money in this business. You know, so not opposed to it by no means, because it's a form of marketing. I'm always with that.
Okay, Lau wants to know, how do I get access to contract forms with the course, and where do I find the course?
Well, I give away the contract that's used that we always are talking about at the site at my site flipman.net. And you can get access to the course at the same place. So there you go, flipman.net. You can get access to the courses and the free contract that I give away.
Okay, Craig wants to know, how can I convince family or friends that you can do real estate investing without any of your own money? Why are you trying to convince them, Craig?
You took the word right out of my mouth. Screw them. Screw them. I don't know if any of you all have seen the movie Boiler Room before. You ever seen that before, Adrian?
No.
I reference a lot of movies and stuff, don't you?
You watch way too many movies. I'm just saying.
Anyway, the guy is like an interview he's having with what they do is they're basically like a chop shop of selling stocks over the phone. You know, this movie was done like in 2003, 2002. Like that. Matter of fact, Ben Affleck is in it. What's your boy name? Ben Diesel, however you say his name. A lot of heavy hitters in that movie. Some of their early movies before their career. And Ben Affleck is giving an interview with these guys that they're interviewing to become, stockbrokers, where they just cold calling people that they, bought a list from of, I guess, what they call accredited investors, and they just call them trying to sell them stocks that they've created. They basically created an IPO or whatever and trying to sell it to individuals. So during the I guess it was an orientation more so than the interview. They had already been hired. And he told them, said is that people are going to laugh at you and say, what are you doing with your life, blah, blah, blah. And he said, what you do, you tell them, it's like even your mom and dad, you say, F you, mom and dad. Talk to me when I drive up and I'm paying your Lexus payment. So point being, I didn't explain it right. You watch the movie, you'll get it. But the point is, don't worry about your friends and family. What you have to understand is that if you have entrepreneur aspirations, whether it's real estate or selling hair.
You got jokes. You're so funny.
Whether you selling hair, the majority of people are not going to get it, right? Even with myself, I've dealt with some of that myself, especially early on. And my mom is not as bad as she used to be. She doesn't really know what I do, right? She just know I don't go clock in anywhere, right? And that bothers her. She always asks me if I'm okay with money. It's like, I don't really, I did early on and sort of let people know what kind of, but I don't anymore, as far as they know I'm dead broke or whatever. But, and I'm saying this on this video, but so I am dead broke. So anyway, but point being, she'll ask me if I'm okay or whatever, but I'm the one giving her money, when she needs something done or whatever. But it's just a funny dynamic or whatever. But my point is that most people, I know I'm rambling here because I got a lot of thoughts going on my mind, but most people, in order for this capitalistic society to run the way it does, you have to have more Indians than chiefs. The chiefs, this is where my explanation of it. Chiefs are people that own the businesses and provide employment for the Indians. You're gonna have to have many more Indians to be able to buy the products and services that the chiefs are supplying to the Indians, right? And I'm just using these terms so people don't try not being racist or whatever. I don't care. But you're just gonna have more Indians than chiefs, man. So my point is, don't try to explain this stuff to them. I know you want people to be involved and happy for you and you're trying to succeed in whatever you're trying to do. But the faster you understand that you don't care what they think and live by that, you're going to be okay. And keep your stuff to yourself. When your zip code changes, the vehicle you drive, and the people you care about be able to do things for them, you won't have to explain to them, is it real or not? Just my 2 cents on it. I know I was all over the place, but I hope I got it.
Boy, you were. But yeah, Kathy says keep on referencing those movies, Flipman. I get you. And especially with the mom thing. Yeah, some of my subscribers, they know the movies you're talking about. I just don't. And Mike.
Oh, it's a great movie. If you've ever tried to sell anything, watch Boiler Room.
Anthony Henry says Boiler Room is a good one. Mike says LMAO at the hair sales. He said ain't nothing wrong with the Santa hat. That's not what. No. Okay, maybe
that wasn't what we would rather something we was talking.
But he right. I do have on the Santa. I ain't taking it off. I know that.
I was getting educated by Adria about something I'm looking into.
I know a lot of people have questions. Clifton Burns says he just got approved for Fund My Next Deal. He says, I appreciate all you do, especially being.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have more coming on that. We've got several people approved, but we want to get down the road on, even though you've been approved, you got to do something with the money to turn it over into something else. So you'll be hearing more about that, in the near future. We got several people approved that went through the process or whatever.
Okay. Anthony Chambers on Facebook, but it's not a question. He just says he needs to make a deal happen ASAP to pay for a wedding.
Oh.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Any suggestions, action steps? Stop. Any suggestions, action steps I can take immediately to get started?
Yeah.
Run. Go the other way.
What? This is do with the wedding. What was that off of?
Facebook.
Well, why you didn't tell me, man?
I did, but I said it wasn't really a question.
Well, who was this? That was Shantae, or who was that?
That's Shantae. That's the last question. We're gonna get to her next.
Oh, who asked that question?
2 questions up. Anthony Chambers.
Oh, there you go.
There he is.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Anthony in his suit.
Oh, y'all see Anthony's question on Facebook. Wow, that is beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Just like I explained to the guy a moment ago, they scored again. Just like I explained to the guy a moment ago, you got to get some activity. Get your phone ring with motivated seller. This business, it ain't easy. I'm not trying to, definitely not trying to say that, but it's all about leads. How many sellers are you talking to per day? That's what this all boils down to. If you're doing an effective job of that, I don't care what source or sources you're using, you will do deals. That goes for me or anyone else. If I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm not going to be doing deals, period. There you go. I've answered your question, Anthony, but take action is basically what I'm trying to say. So that was a question on Facebook. We got another
one. Did we lose it?
Lose what?
The Facebook.
I still see you.
Well, I lost my question. It was Shantae's. She said she's working on building a buyer's list. And when doing so, how do I know I have serious buyers versus wholesalers in my market?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about a buyer's list. Find a great deal, present the deal to them, and that's how you'll know if you have a buyer's list. Guys, you could do it that way. That's up to you. But you asked the question, so I'm answering. Both work. But buyers are easy. Buyers are easy compared to sellers, is what I'm saying. Do I need to break it down to them, or you want to explain how my little scenario?
No. Are you really supposed to say it again?
Yeah, I'm gonna break it down to her because she's on Facebook. Go ahead. And I was able to put up, a question on Facebook, so I'm gonna break it down. All right, this is not a trick question, but if you had a job and I had a job. Your job was you had an empty bag and you had 2 days. We'll give you 2 days to get enough people. You stand on the street corner, whether they're driving by in a car and or walking by, to give you enough money to fill that bag with $50,000. Those are sellers. I'm on the other corner. My job is I have a bag with $50,000 in it. And my job is to give that away in 2 days. Who has the easier job? Those are buyers. So whenever you look at buyers, you're giving money away when you negotiate an attractive deal with a seller because you created equity that's going to be attractive to a cash buyer. So do you think it's hard to find individuals to take those off your hand? No, it isn't. But it is hard to get someone to give you enough equity, that's a seller, in their property to make it attractive for a buyer. So where should you spend most of your time trying to do this? Trying to put this together. Your first part of your time, I guess, because you got to do both. You spend your time on the harder part of it, in my opinion, which is dealing with sellers. So, but again, you can do it the other way if you want to. That's fine. Both work. But I'm just telling you, at the end of the day, you can have a buyer's list from Birmingham to Cleveland. It's worthless if you don't have any deals to offer.
All right, you ready?
Facebook again?
No, you just listen. You ready?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there is no such thing as a no-sell call. A sale is made on every call you make. Either you sell the client some stock or he sells you a reason he can't. Either way, a sale is made. The only question is, who is going to close, you or him? Now be relentless. That's it. I'm done. Is that it?
Yeah. Well, you didn't get the mom and dad part of it in there.
I ain't putting that in there, but it's the point that it's every, either you
you just looked that up.
Actually, your subscribers did. Summer AF, I'm not gonna say that, and Eric, they both posted it. Best boiler room quote. Mm-hmm.
That's good, but I want the one with the
No,
mom and dad.
I ain't reading that. It's PG.
That's the one I want.
Okay, so I have a question. When you're driving for dollars and you're using Landglide, how do you store the info? I know some people are saying write it down, take a picture of the address, but how do you store it? Is there an option on Landglide?
It doesn't have an option on it. That's something that they need to add in my opinion. So what I do is just snap the screen. I snap the screen of the actual address.
Oh, screenshot. Sounds good. Take a screenshot.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Let's see here. Hey, Flip Man, how and where do you get a Section 8 neighborhood listing from the City Housing Authority or City Hall?
Yeah, the actual entity that provides that service.
So you can just go and say, hey, I need a list of all the Section 8
I'm
houses?
not sure. Some of them it's going to be that simple, and others you have to use someone that actually qualifies for Section 8. Which, you can put an ad on Facebook too, but Craigslist, it's just telling you give them somebody $20 for the list. That's a Section 8 approved or whatever to get. So that'll be simple to get, but you probably can just call them, they'll just send it to you or tell you somewhere where to go online for it.
Okay. James said, well, let's see here. I can't find a deal, Tony says. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. When I finally get sellers to call me, they never accept my offer. Any advice?
Well, how many people are you talking to? And the easier way to do it doesn't mean it's always going to get the results you need, but instead of making the offer, try to get them to give you their least amount, paying all cash, closing quickly. What is the least amount you will accept? Now, they won't always give you a price, as I said, but that should be your goal.
Okay. Timothy says, after I guesstimate my rehab prior to making my offer, in the contract, can the rehab be adjusted or renegotiated after I have the contractor look at the property?
Read that again.
After I guesstimate my rehab prior to making my offer, in the contract, can the rehab be adjusted or renegotiated after I have a contractor look at the property?
Yeah, you could do that. Did he say he's already put it on the contract?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, you can still do that. I don't like doing, I have done that before. But you want to avoid that as much as possible. But again, anything's negotiable. Either you go back to them and say, hey, I underestimated the repairs or whatever, and they want to renegotiate or they don't. So they have unless you have an inspection clause in there or something, or due diligence clause or period in there, then they'll keep you earning some money, of course, but hopefully you only put up 10, 50, $100.
Hey, single mom phenom, welcome. It's our second Flippinars. She made it. Yes, you did. You made it at the very end, but you made it nonetheless. And just always remember that this video is available for you to watch when we finish here. Ron Green wants to know, he says, I know I'm late to the party, but should I start in low-income areas? I've driven for dollars.
Wait a minute.
No, you looking at Eric, and Eric stopped posting them quotes. He said it was just for you. Yeah, I ignored it.
Hey, wait a minute. Stop the pressing. Read what he got on there. Read it, please.
Oh, another quote from Boiler Room reads as,
hold the cuss word if he put it up.
Use another explicative. Forget your mom and dad. You'll see how it feels when you're making their freaking Lexus payments. Now go home and think about it. Think about if this is really for you. Listen, if you decide it isn't, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. I think something else came after it. I can't see. I'm sorry.
All right, cool.
You got to post the rest of it. Yeah. Oh, if you decide it isn't for you, this job's not for everyone. But if you really want this, you call me on Monday and we'll talk. Just don't waste my freaking time. That's what you wanted.
That's what I wanted.
That's what you wanted. That's what you want to say every week.
Hey, that was for my man that was asking about his family and friends, man. Hey, go watch that movie Boiler Room. You'll thank me later.
So Ron's question was driving for dollars and found several properties that are vacant. Is there more risk of a potential bad deal in the low income areas?
When you say a bad deal, I don't know what he means. What does he mean by that?
Well, he just wanted to know, should he start in low income areas?
Yeah. As I mentioned before, yeah, because you can target those areas because those are going to be we're going to have a high number of Section 8 landlords in those areas. So yeah, most definitely.
Okay, so Simone says it's her first time hearing about Land Glide. Although it's not yours, just give a quick what it is.
Oh, she asked that on Facebook.
Yes, she did.
I ain't got it.
Thank you.
But Land Glide, I have an actual video on it. Simone, that's her name?
Simone.
Yeah, Simone on YouTube that shows you actually how it works. But basically, it's just an app. It just identifies where you are. It identifies you pull up on a property, and it pulls up the information on it. It diagrams out the boundaries of the property. It's just awesome. With that being said, it is only as good as the information that county/city or municipality provides for their properties. Keep that in mind. So something like when I was in the county where Adria lived, it wouldn't provide, it'll still show and diagram out the property boundaries, but it wouldn't show property owner information in Adria's county, which is just one county over from mine, where I live. So boom. So just keep that in mind. But it has a free trial on it, like a 7-day trial, so you can use it and see if it works in your market.
Okay, Tony's question was she couldn't find a deal, and when finally sellers call me, they don't accept her offer. You asked her how many calls. She said 5. So
total?
Total.
Yeah, that's not. What's her name?
Tony.
That's not a lot. You want 5 calls a day.
Yeah.
That's not a big enough sampling, baby girl. You should expect none of those to be opportunities. Oh, that's the one that they wouldn't allow to put it in the contract.
No. This is it's similar. She just says she can't find a deal.
That's not a lot. That's nothing. That's nothing. You should be having that many interactions per day.
Okay. David has is it a deal question? This is on YouTube. It's on YouTube. The seller wants, stop looking at it. Seller wants 218, repairs are 10. The ARV is 305. Is it a deal? So 230 and 305.
Repeat that. You said 230 or what?
Huh?
230 and what?
No, the seller wants 218. The repairs are 10. So I just rounded up to 230.
230, yeah.
Yeah, but the ARV is 305.
305.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, 30%, that's 90. No, that's not a deal. It's close. You hadn't added in your money, you gotta take into consideration closing. You want to get that down. You want to get that down probably, what do you say, 210?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you probably want to get that down another, at least another 30 if possible. You may have something you can work with there, in my opinion. It may be a deal.
So, in your opinion, Yeah, but because I have some commenters here, we're just going to use this as an example as we close out. We have, commenters are like, yes, that's the deal, that's the deal, that's the deal. But why is it not a deal? Why would an investor not want to look at that?
Let's do the math on it. Let's do some simple math. This is where the formula comes in on, especially on property in that price range. So you said 305?
305 is the ARV.
305. So times 7%. So we're at 213,500 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
They understand that 30% plus 70% equals 100%. So the 30% is really what you're looking at, right? So 20% of that, 20 to 25% of it is profit, okay? And then others holding costs and whatever. So, but on a property like that, if you pay closing costs twice, especially on the back end when you sell it, and that's 6%. That's 12,000 right there, and probably another $2,000 to $4,000 in closing costs on both transactions. So we're going to say that's 15,000 in just fees or whatever. But so now you subtract that. I'll say we did 305,000 times 70%. That equals 213,500 minus we're just going to assume he knows what he's talking about with the repairs. $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
You had 203,500. He hadn't even added his money in there, right? I'm talking about the wholesaler, whoever presented this deal.
Okay.
The numbers don't work. The numbers don't work.
All right, guys. I hope that answered the question there. It seemed like the money was there, but he has the formulas that are available, breaking down.
You have to understand these guys are not going to spend basically $250,000 to make 50,000. They just don't do it. That's not a bad return, but they just feel like if they spend 250 plus, they want to make 100. Because they can spend that money on so many other deals to you can spend 70 and still make 50, so it just don't work that way. Again, each market is different. Depending on how hot the market is or a particular part of your market, those numbers may work. But, if you only go by what my experiences are and what I dealing with students all over the country, those numbers wouldn't work on what he gave us. Not on a wholesale cash deal. That's a lot of money. 200 and some change is a lot of money, man, to have forked into a property with an investment. Because anything could go in the wrong direction by any overestimation or underestimation and eat up all of that $50,000. You see what I'm saying? And they take that in consideration whenever they're evaluating the property. So, boom.
All right, Keith on Facebook has a question. Right. Now I gave you time and man.
There you go.
What's another way of looking for relatives of a homeowner that I can't get in touch with? I've looked on the county tax assessment site to find the owner and skip trace for the number. I've knocked on the neighbors' doors. They haven't seen her in years. So how do I find the homeowner?
So he knows who the relatives are?
He's asking what's another way of looking for the relatives.
Well, if you use any of the sites like intellus.com, they're going to automatically produce, if you have enough information about the seller, obviously, they're going to automatically produce possible relatives. A lot of times you can identify because they have the same last name or whatever, it'd be multiples. And so now you'll do research on those individuals and reach out to them, through direct mail, maybe on a phone call or whatever. So that's where I would start. Just sites like intellus.com. There are going to be others out there once you Google it, or just do a search for a search on Google for a people search, find someone or find people or whatever. You're going to see all those sites or whatever. But The one that I've used over the years is Intellis.com. INTELLIUS.com. I think that's how it's spelled.
All right. And lastly, King Augustine on YouTube says, hello, we want to start wholesaling. Would you advise us to start in our surrounding areas first or find out-of-state deals?
It's easier to pick up 25 cents
in your own backyard.
In your own backyard than it is in another backyard. Not saying you don't do both. Start in your own backyard. Learn the business in your own backyard. Make money in your own backyard first, in my opinion.
Well, as I always say, Ty, that's what we're here for. Your opinion.
I like to put that, like, because I don't want to seem like I know everything. You know what I'm saying? That's my passive aggressiveness that I've been told by a female that I date. So that I'm passive aggressive. I didn't know that was negative or positive. What is it, Adrian?
We'll talk about that later. Yeah. It could go either way. It just depends. Okay. Anthony's question. Let me go back to Anthony. Anthony had the property that the seller owed $100,000, but was asking $440, and we didn't know the ARV. The ARV was $550. So, no.
No, that's not a deal.
Nah, he's gonna have to come closer to that 100 that he owes.
Not you don't have to go down that far, but definitely
250.
The low threes, depending on the repairs, but definitely the low threes. Assuming I don't know what the repairs are though. So, but a house like that, you can spend $100,000 in repairs. Depending, just to bring it up to where it needs to be as far as the. I'm watching the game in the background.
Who's winning, Ty?
Oklahoma State is beating Virginia Tech 27-21.
Oh, thank you for that.
For 3 minutes and 24 seconds, they're in the red zone now.
Oh, thank you.
Well, that's you know.
No, you don't quit your day job. All right, guys. I'm Adria, and I appreciate you being here. We did start late, but as always, we make up for that lateness. We do. Facebook users, I apologize. We tried something new.
We got it fixed though.
No, they said it was still kind of icky. Said it had an echo.
I'm gonna listen to the replay or whatever. We'll see what's up.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool though. You can post the questions up. Everybody can see the questions, and then they're just gonna call me out even more. You skipped my question. Yeah. Okay. I have no control over that, guys. Everybody, listen. I want you to have a happy new year. I want you all to resolve to cash checks.
You didn't do any questions on Instagram, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, I did. Goodness. So, 2018, we're going to cash checks and get Gator. Work on Gatorism.
Grind and stack.
Grind and stack.
Where's the big boy? Grind and stack.
That sounds good. And to each of you that accepted Malachi's challenge, may the force be with you. You got 5 days into the new year to get you a check, cash it. And happy birthday, Malachi. Tomorrow's happy Malachi's birthday, Malachi Irving. Happy birthday. He ain't telling me how old he is, but yeah. Ty, you have anything to say to the Get Peoples?
Oh, nothing. I really appreciate everyone showing up. Appreciate your patience. And we will see you guys on the flip side.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Ha 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 ha. What movie is that from?
Gosh, you in the movies. No.